Hello and welcome to Spark Joy Astrology. I hope you're having a beautiful day so far. I am here to break down the exact big aspects going down on August 24th, 2023. Well, we certainly had a flavor shift as far as the sun moving out of Leo and into Virgo yesterday. And in the same house, Virgo, we had Mercury go retrograde. So a big shift in the way that we are coming at life. And if you didn't watch yesterday's video, go do that so you know a little bit more about this shift, because the moon is jumping on that ship and is also moving out of a sign and into a new one today. So we're going to cover that. We're also going to cover the aspect that the moon is making between Saturn retrograde and the sun today. It's called a T-square, and it definitely brings in some tension, friends. So let's dive into it. Beginning at 2:07 a.m. Mountain Daylight Time, the moon moved into Sagittarius. This is certainly a flavor shift because the moon is coming from Scorpio. Scorpio is where our moon does not love to be. It's actually considered a debilitated place. And Scorpio likes to get into the depths, the dirty, dark parts of our psyche. So when the moon is here, we can definitely find some depth to our emotions, possible obsession, control issues. But this is a time that we kind of come into a secretive cocoon, if you will. So this deep need for connecting and intimacy is shifting into a deep need for expansion, growth, freedom, and adventure. Sagittarius is a fire sign. It's a masculine sign. And Scorpio is a feminine, watery sign. So this big flavor shift that we're feeling, friends, is really potent. But what is neat about the sun and the moon moving into these houses is that they are both mutable houses. Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces are all the mutable signs, meaning that they are flexible and adaptable. If you think about the seasons that they rule, they are the in-between seasons where you get a little bit of, spring and winter, considering it being fall, or winter and summer, spring. So this ability to kind of flow and adapt, which is really great, because Thursday we need to flow and adapt. We are working with a tense T-square, and at 3:57 a.m. the moon starts to move into creating this T-square as she comes to 1 degree of Sagittarius and makes a square to the sun, who's at 1 degree of Virgo. Here we go, friends, mutable houses. So we're working with adaptability, which is really great, because a square between the moon and the sun means we are going to have some tension, some conflict around the yin and the yang and how it flows and creates our reality. So this energy can bring a challenge, an incongruence between the heart and the head, the yin and the yang. So trying to really be aware of your emotionality and not letting your ego take control, really working to not overly dramatize things or get too overly emotional. This is a good mindful practice to work with on Thursday morning. The first quarter moon means that we are 1 week exactly away from the new moon. This is part of the cycle that stirs up tension so that we know how to get better. We're always being tested to get better, friends. So these squares are helping us to work towards our next aspect between the moon and the sun, which is a trine. We're going to work through the crap here so that we can get better here. All right, so with this, oh my God, we're in the crap mode, know that balancing techniques are really great when the moon and sun are at 90 degrees, that square aspect, that tension. So we are working with an imbalance of the masculine and the feminine. So knowing that we have two main channels within us that carry the masculine and feminine yin and yang energy, we can work through breath techniques to find balance on challenging days like this. Alternate nostril breathing one full inhale, exhale through one side, and then sealing that nostril, doing the inhale, exhale on the other side, and alternating works to balance those nadis within you, the Ida and Pingala. So friends, I do really suggest early in the morning when you wake up to spend a little time in meditation and finding that balance point. Okay, so this tension, this conflict can definitely be around work themes that are about where you have to show up to be very responsible, because the T-square that the moon and the sun are creating is with Saturn, who's retrograde in Pisces at 4 degrees. So the moon and the sun are at 1 degree, and that 4-degree Saturn making the opposition to, or rather, square to the moon and square to the sun is creating this beautiful, challenging red triangle in the cosmos, or red if you look at an actual chart. Red means challenge, tension, conflict, obstacles. These are on purpose, friends. You must invite them in as lessons to get better, because this day is going to dish out a lot of those possibly. But working into that balance point is a wonderful thing, because at 9:29 a.m. that is when the moon moves to 4 degrees and makes that official square to Saturn, who's retrograde. So this inner spotlight of our maturity, our wise self, that higher divine spark that is guiding this particular life, and has that higher vision and leads us to our highest good if we really tune in and trust it, friends. So here we go. At this particular moment, we may be looking at unresolved emotional issues, not allowing us to step into our full maturity. This is where our emotions could be challenged at work, or just feeling tested by the universe, because tests are all about Saturn's level ups. I want to see, pop quiz here, pop quiz there. Where are you at? How are you handling things? Like these young men on their bikes zooming past us. But this particular T-square, friends, is really activated at this 9:29 a.m. time. So yes, it is about taking those grounded, deep breaths, friends, because you will get through this. The next aspect says so at 6:22 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time. Mars in Virgo, that mutable place where the sun is also at, is at the end of Virgo. The sun's at the very beginning. We have wise Mars, who's been working through this house, and he's at 28 degrees at this end point where things can get a bit testy by the universe. But he is trining Pluto, who is going retrograde in Capricorn, a deep earthy sign. So we're working with that and Virgo, which is an earthy sign. So this ability to ground in to a firmness, creating a reality, a shift. And this is a green light to really go for those desires and get your needs met, with Mars, the action warrior, and Pluto, the depths of your psyche. So willful power. This is a power aspect, most definitely, that helps us step into our courage, our confidence, our charisma. It's also, friends, a very sexy aspect. Mars represents sex, and Pluto is the deep desires. And so when these two come together by trine, there is some sexiness in the air, friends. And our moon is in that fire sign, so we're all passionate and ready to have some fun. This aspect happens all the way from today until the 26th. So if you are a busy human, schedule some good time in between now and the 26th, because the fire is lit, friends. This is a day that really puts us into some tests so that we can power up and become stronger. So remember your deep, balanced breaths, and I will be sending you so much love and joy and light, and you got this, friends. I'll see you tomorrow. Mwah.